Consumer Reports just released their latest rankings, and 7 SUVs scored so high that the entire industry was caught off guard. They're practically flawless. But here's where things get interesting. 3 of the models on this list were completely ignored by the market just a few months ago. And one of them is hiding an engineering trick so advanced that German automakers are starting to get genuinely nervous. As for the number 1 spot, you're not going to guess it. It's the SUV most shoppers walk right past at the dealership without even stopping to look. It sounds unreal, but the brand behind it was on the brink of bankruptcy 15 years ago. Now they're making long-established luxury manufacturers feel embarrassed. Keep watching, because the final SUV on this list comes with a feature that mechanics insist should not exist at this price. And I'm going to show you exactly why Consumer Reports ranked it above models that cost twice as much. On top of that, there's a critical mistake that nearly 80% of SUV buyers make when comparing these 7 models. A silent, expensive trap that bleeds thousands through steep depreciation and unexpected repair bills. I'll expose that mistake right before we reach the number 1 pick, and once you understand it, you'll never throw your money at the wrong SUV again. Even more revealing, there's a clear underlying pattern linking all 7 of these vehicles. A pattern that draws a sharp line between SUVs that stay rock solid for years and those that look impressive at first but deteriorate shockingly fast. Stay with me, because this insight will completely redefine how you evaluate an SUV. Number 7, the Mazda CX-50. And this is where the list starts getting controversial. Most people still assume Mazda can't stand toe-to-toe with the giants in the industry. Well, they're absolutely mistaken. The CX-50 just pulled a stunning 91 reliability score from Consumer Reports, and the surprise doesn't stop there. It's actually built in Alabama, not Japan. Yet what Mazda did under the hood is what has reviewers talking. They took their Skyactiv engineering and elevated it with a manufacturing technique inspired by high-end watchmakers. Every component inside the engine is measured to tolerances so exact most automakers wouldn't even attempt it. The result? 0 catastrophic engine failures in the first year. 0 transmission replacements. 0 electrical meltdowns. In a world where SUVs behave more like fragile laptops on wheels, the CX-50 operates with the precision of a Swiss timepiece. Mazda also made a strategic choice. Keep the tech intentionally simple. No oversized screens dominating the dash, no subscription tricks, no glitchy over-the-air updates. Just durable hardware that's engineered to last. Owners are reporting something almost unheard of. The CX-50 actually feels tighter and more solid at 30,000 miles than it did brand new. No rattles, consistent panel gaps, the same solid thunk when closing the doors. Inside, Mazda went premium while competitors went cheap. Real stitching, real sound insulation, and a cabin quiet enough to hit luxury sedan noise levels. And on the road, predictive all-wheel drive, confident cornering, real steering feel, it drives. Like Mazda remembers its sports car DNA. And the most shocking part for mechanics? These things come in for oil changes and nothing else. No random warning lights, no glitch hunts, no mystery repairs. For a new platform, that's almost unheard of. And it's exactly why the CX-50 earns its place on this list. Number 6. The Subaru Outback Wilderness, and this one proves just how far true durability can go. Subaru has always been known for reliability, but the Wilderness Edition crosses into a different category entirely. Consumer Reports handed it a staggering 93, and what makes that number so alarming for competitors is how this SUV earned it. Subaru didn't test it gently, they punished it. We're talking 127-degree heat in Death Valley, -40 temperatures in Alaska, and off-road terrain that usually destroys axles, wheel bearings, and confidence. Yet the Outback Wilderness pushed through every scenario without a single dramatic failure. How? Subaru learned from its past mistakes. After the infamous head gasket era nearly damaged their reputation permanently, they tore the entire engine architecture apart and rebuilt it from the ground up. New block design, new metallurgy, marine-grade sealing technology, and redesigned coolant pathways to eliminate hotspots. And here's the part no other automaker wants to talk about. Every single engine undergoes a 200-hour endurance test before it ever reaches a vehicle. Not random samples, every engine. Mechanics are noticing something else. The Outback Wilderness simply has fewer parts. Subaru removed unnecessary complexity that other brands use as selling points. No glitch-prone electronic parking brake, replaced with a bulletproof mechanical one. No sensor-loaded power liftgate, a lighter manual one that never needs calibration. And the payoff is huge. With 72% 3-year residual value, it keeps its worth better than luxury SUVs priced at double the money. Add real steel underbody protection, oversized suspension hardware, and a radiator shield that stops debris without choking airflow. And you get an SUV built not just to survive, but to outlast everything around it. Number 4 is the Lexus NX 350h. And this is where the conversation about reliability shifts into a completely different league. Lexus has always been known for building dependable vehicles, but the NX 350h isn't just reliable. It's performing at a level that shouldn't be possible for a tech-heavy, first-generation luxury SUV. Consumer Reports gave it a jaw-dropping 95, and the real shock is why. This SUV is loaded with features that, in most brands, would be constant failure points. Adaptive damping that recalibrates hundreds of times per second, digital mirrors, a surprisingly flawless touchpad interface, 64-color ambient lighting, and a massive heads-up display. Yet instead of braking, everything works with clock-like consistency. And that's because Lexus did something almost unheard of in today's rush-to-market industry. They delayed the launch nearly a full year. Not for supply issues, because pre-production testing uncovered semi-potential failure points within the first 50,000 miles. So they re-engineered all 17 systems from the ground up. Dual-processor mirror controllers, redesigned damper valves, a new touchpad supplier, new software architecture. The version customers are buying today is essentially a refined second generation disguised as a first. The hybrid system? It's not borrowed from Toyota's car lineup. It comes from their industrial equipment division, the same division that builds forklifts and warehouse machinery designed to operate non-stop around the clock. Lexus adapted that overbuilt technology for a luxury SUV, which is why the NX 350h shows virtually no performance degradation over tens of thousands of miles. And here's the kicker. It's quicker and more efficient than the non-hybrid version. 0-60 in 6.8 seconds, 39 mpg combined, and owners report the acceleration feels identical even past 50,000 miles. No battery fade, no power loss. It simply refuses to age the way hybrids normally do. Inside, Lexus makes its statement with real semi-aniline leather, reinforced stitching, and composite dashboard materials that don't crack, fade, smell, or get brittle with temperature swings. Even the maintenance schedule feels unreal. 10,000-mile oil changes, brake pads lasting 80,000 miles thanks to regenerative braking, and transmission fluid that never needs to be replaced. But the twist coming next involves a 3-row SUV that has no business being this reliable. Number 3, the Toyota Highlander Hybrid. The SUV that completely rewrites what a 3-row family hauler is supposed to be. In the automotive world, 3-row vehicles are almost guaranteed reliability headaches. More seats, more wiring, more weight, more mechanical failure points. That's the unwritten rule every engineer knows. Yet the Highlander Hybrid walks in and posts a staggering 96 from Consumer Reports, forcing rival brands to rethink their entire design philosophy. Toyota's strategy? They refused to gamble. No experimental tech, no flashy gimmicks destined to break. Instead, they scaled up the same hybrid systems that have proven themselves over millions of trouble-free miles in the Prius and Camry. The result is brutal for competitors. Since launching in 2020, there has been zero pattern of major failures, no lawsuits, no engine scandals, no transmission horror stories. Owner forums are practically silent, which, in the SUV world, is the loudest praise you can get. And the build quality? Toyota treats the Highlander Hybrid like a flagship. Each unit goes through 847 functional checkpoints, pressure-tested door seals, full diagnostic sweeps, micrometer-level inspections. If a single test fails, the vehicle is pulled back for correction. Financially, it's even more impressive. With a 3-year resale value of around 70%, a $50,000 Highlander hybrid is still worth roughly $35,000, a number most three-row competitors can't even approach. And then there's the fuel economy. 35 mpg in a vehicle that seats 8 and tows 5,000 pounds. That's not efficiency. That's engineering sorcery. Toyota even nails the comfort details. The second row isn't just adjustable. It offers leg rest extensions that turn long trips into actual relaxation. And what's coming next will challenge everything you think you know about luxury SUVs and which brands truly deliver quality. Number 2, the Acura MDX, the comeback story nobody expected. Just a few years ago, Acura was on life support. The designs were forgettable, the lineup lacked any real identity, and sales were dropping so fast that analysts were predicting the brand's funeral. Then, the newest MDX arrived, and Consumer Reports hit it with an unbelievable 97. That's the kind of score reserved for vehicles that simply refuse to break. And the shock continues. This SUV delivers Lexus-tier reliability while undercutting German luxury rivals by nearly $20,000. The reason? Acura quietly engineered the MDX as if they were building the best possible Honda, with zero constraints. Yes, it shares a platform with the Pilot, but that's where the similarity ends. Different suspension geometry tuned for sharper handling, heavier acoustic insulation, higher-grade electronics. These two SUVs may share DNA, but they were raised completely different worlds. Mechanics are stunned by the maintenance schedule. Aside from oil and tyres, the MDX doesn't ask for a major service until 30,000 miles, a point where many luxury SUVs already need transmission or differential servicing. And the technology actually works. Voice commands understand normal speech. Navigation is intuitive. Smartphone integration doesn't drop connection every time you hit a bump. But the detail that's blowing people away is the confidence Acura has in this machine. The brand voluntarily extended the powertrain warranty to 6 years or 70,000 miles, not as a damage control move, but as a statement. They know the MDX will survive anything owners throw at it. And the driving experience? Acura spent 2 full years tuning the suspension. Most brands spend 6 months. The payoff is an SUV that rides like a luxury sedan, but corners with the agility of something half its weight. Even the third row, usually an afterthought, is genuinely usable for adults. What comes next on this list will change everything you think you know about reliability, luxury, and long-term value. Number 1. The Mazda CX-90. A vehicle that shouldn't exist on paper, yet somehow does. This is the same Mazda that was fighting for survival 2 decades ago. The same company that relied on Ford engines just to stay alive. And now? They've built what Consumer Reports calls the most reliable 3-row luxury SUV on the market, earning an almost mythical score of 98. The industry is still trying to understand how Mazda pulled this off. Mazda didn't chase flashy tech or digital gimmicks. They doubled down on fundamentals. The CX-90 uses a naturally aspirated inline-6, a layout most brands abandoned because it costs more to build. But by eliminating turbos, intercoolers, high-pressure boost systems, and carbon-prone direct injection setups, Mazda created an engine designed to last decades, not years. Then they paired it with an 8-speed ZF transmission, the same supplier behind Porsche and BMW, but detuned it so it operates far below its maximum capacity. This isn't engineered for peak performance, it's engineered for immortality. Mazda went even further by building the CX-90 on a rear-wheel drive longitudinal platform, the same architecture as a Mercedes GLE or BMW X5, but at a price that undercuts them by roughly $40,000. It's German luxury engineering with Japanese longevity at mainstream pricing. Inside, the CX-90 feels handcrafted. Real maple trim, Bentley-grade Napa leather, and sound insulation so effective that cruising at highway speeds registers just 63 decibels, quieter than normal conversation. In long-term testing, Consumer Reports found something unheard of for a brand new platform. Not a single unscheduled repair. No warning lights, no suspension noise, no electrical issues, nothing. Mazda won't brag about it, but this SUV is intentionally overbuilt. The chassis tolerances, cooling systems, braking components, and suspension hardware are rated for stresses the average driver will never come close to. And the maintenance schedule is so light that dealerships literally have to remind owners to come in. The CX-90 is the rare luxury SUV that doesn't just promise longevity. It's engineered to make every other brand rethink what quality actually means. A lot of buyers choose a BMW for the prestige, a Mercedes because it looks good in their driveway, or an Audi because the lease payment seems tempting. But fast forward to 60,000 miles and many of them are staring at repair bills that cost more than a family vacation. Meanwhile, the CX-90 and the other SUVs on this list will still feel tight, solid and confident at 150,000 miles. Not because of luck, but because they were engineered for survival from day one. These 7 SUVs prove one undeniable truth. Long-term reliability is not an accident. It's the result of automakers who invest in durability instead of marketing tricks, who overbuild components instead of cutting corners, and who rely on time-tested engineering rather than chasing flashy tech meant for press releases. These companies design vehicles to serve you for the long haul, not just the first 3 years of payments. So if you want an SUV that will still feel brand new by the time you make your final installment and still hold its value when you're ready for your next upgrade, this is the list that matters. Consumer Reports has already done the heavy lifting, analyzing data from hundreds of thousands of owners. The verdict is clear. Some SUVs are built to last, others are built to drain your wallet. If this breakdown helped you avoid a costly mistake, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want honest, data-backed reliability analysis on every new model hitting the market. The industry might prefer you stay in the dark, but I'm here to shine the light. Let me know in the comments, which SUV shocked you the most?